Hey, my name is Chad. Welcome to this video. We're going to talk about my second PRS match. And this time I actually got a little bit of footage to share with you guys. It was another day, things were kind of moving quick, and it was a windy, there's like that red dust. If you've ever been in Oklahoma, you know what I'm talking about, but the red dust blowing everywhere. And we had like a 8 to 15, 16 mile an hour wind that was pretty constant all day, switching directions, and made for a really tricky match. So I ended up with about 22 hits again, kind of like the first match. I would have one stage that I would do really well on, and then another stage where I would just do terrible. And I was having problems, so we're going to go over some of that. I wanted to start talking about what I was doing for match prep. So I shared with you guys how I was working on the things that I did really bad at the first match, which was mostly the positional stuff. So I worked on moving around with the rifle, getting set up and in position faster, and I actually did much better this time on that stuff. Now what I realized I do need to work on is going to be wind and then some ammo situations. We'll say that I did most of my practice dry fire, just working on the manual skills that I needed to get better and move through the stage faster. So I went out the Monday before the match, which was this last Sunday. So I went out Monday and was going to try to spin my spinner again, and I have collected a bunch of this ammo with the same lot number, but it was different lot number from the previous stuff I had been using. So I decided to take a couple shots with it, make sure everything was going to be okay at my spinner target that I have set up at 350, and see if I could get that to spin. Well, took 3 shots, all 3 missed. Put 2 rounds in from my previous box of ammo and hit both like right where I was aiming. Put 1 more in from the new box, totally missed. So, okay, there's a problem. Obviously, something with that batch of ammo is behaving differently in my rifle than the previous batch. Anyways, I ended up losing light that day and had to wait till Saturday when I got off of work, ran back out to my spot to try and re-zero, and I think I figured out what one of the other problems was. So I'm going to show you this target. So this was my first 3-shot group. You can see for me that's a pretty good sized group. So I started working with the tuner that I have on my rifle, the Eric Cortina barrel tuner there, or tuner brake actually. So first couple shots, just huge group for me. That's terrible. Dialed it and then made some adjustments on the scope. So got it a little bit closer, then made a couple more adjustments, got the group kind of tightened up pretty good here, and then I adjusted my left and right in the wrong direction. So instead of coming back to the left, I sent it more to the right and went back, took another couple shots, and they all moved over here. So that was kind of embarrassing. Tried to move it back where I thought it should be and tried to shoot up here, but at this point I could not even see I couldn't see the red or the black lines. So I was kind of just shooting at the corner and hoping I was going in the same direction. But they still ended up pretty decent. So I was like, okay, that's close enough and tight enough that I think I can make it through the match. Okay, so I went to bed about midnight on Saturday night, and about 4:15 in the morning I had all my lights turned on, music start blaring, all my alarms going off, and woke me up. It usually takes me 30 minutes to an hour to get my body moving. I push myself so hard every day that mornings are really rough on me. So I have to plan ahead, wake up super early so I can start moving around and get functioning. And anyways, got up and going, got everything finished, packed up, showered, and got out there right about when the sun was coming up and kind of helped set things up. And then I took 3 more shots just to make sure my zero was close enough, and to then use the info from that and set the offset on here. So you can tell your Kestrel if your impact point is a little bit off from your aiming point. You can measure that and tell your Kestrel how far left or right and up or down it needs to compensate. So I did that and got the info put in here. And by the time that was done, everybody had showed up and we were getting started. So the first stage, it was a positional one. I actually made it all the way through the positions, but I did terrible wind calls with that one and only got 2 hits. So I was kind of bummed out because I thought I would be doing quite a bit better. And then we go to the next stage, and I took my time and tried to get good wind calls on that one. And we were shooting little animals at different distances, little animal targets, not animals. And I actually did good on that one. I got 7 out of the possible 10. So, you know, but like I was saying, I would do real bad on one stage, then real good on another. Then the next one was KYL rack at 220, and then a confirmed or a claim target at 537. And that one I got set up, got first hit, and then missed. And then I could not see where I was missing. So most of the backs on this place is like that caliche and rock. So spotting misses was sometimes very hard unless you got lucky and the target was in front of a more sandy, dirty area where you could see where your impact was on the ground. But in this case, all I could see was no hits on the target. I didn't know where I needed to adjust to. So I piddled around and ended up only getting 1 counted hit on that one. So I was kind of bummed out, and that was the one I set my camera up and filmed, so that's embarrassing. I'll put a couple seconds of that footage in here. And then the next stage was a culvert, where you have to shoot at there's a old junked car at 340 yards. You have to shoot a target in the driver's seat, 1 in the passenger seat, 1 outside the trunk on the driver's side, and 1 outside the trunk on the passenger side. So do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come back and do 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and then turn and find the target at 747 yards and finish 2 shots off there. So out of 10, I got 5 hits on that one. I did pretty good. My friend filmed that one. We'll be looking at that footage.
Shooter ready?
Yeah.
Start. Yeah.
Where did you go?
Man, he runs all head. Impact. Impact.
Nope.
Yeah, this is getting small here.
Oh, that one break.
Impact. Impact. Right over the top of it.
42 seconds.
You got
That'd be the only
42
guy
seconds left. Now you're moving on to that 747.
Come on.
I don't know where it was. I was left. Man, you can see the trace so well in that. I watched your trace all the way to it. It's pretty neat.
Okay, then we moved over to the spot where we would do the prone stages, and for some reason the first 2 prone stages I was not doing good getting measurements and putting in good info in my Kestrel. So this is one of the things I have to work on, is learn this a lot better than I thought. I was confident with it, but after this last match I'm not as confident anymore. So that's one of the things I got to work on a lot more between now and the next match, is understanding that tool. It's really great when it works right, but if I put in the wrong data, it gives me the wrong data, and then I'm missing and can't see what I'm doing. So I had one stage I didn't get any hits, very frustrated at that one, and it was 500 out to 1120. Then the next stage was between 450 and 1010, and I only got one hit on that one. Very frustrated there. And then the next one was called Big and Little. So there'd be like a 535 bigger target, and then a smaller one hanging beneath it. Take 2 shots. If you hit the big one on your first shot, then your second one has to be at the little one. Then you move to 595, take 2 shots, it was a single. Then 655, take 2 shots, it was a single. Then go out to 775, and the big and little again, and 870, another big and little again. So I was off to a good start on that. Once I got, I think, out to the 775, I was off a little bit there. And anyways, I got 6 hits on that stage. So like when I was getting hits and I had my data in good, I was doing well, 5 to 6 to 7 hits per stage. And then when I was off on my data, I was anywhere from 0, 1, or 2 hits, which was really frustrating. So I either did really good on a stage or really, really terrible on a stage. So that's what I'm going to be working on for my next ones. Like, I actually made it through most all the positions and got all the shots off this time. So I'm more confident on how I move through the stage. So in that regard, my practice paid off. But now I see more holes where I need to work on the next things to get better at this. So I think once I get a better understanding of how this works and how to input the correct data, I'm going to do a lot better. And I will do a little more ammo testing before the match, not wait till two days out at the range before, in the last 30 minutes before sundown, to actually take shots. So that one was my fault, but I don't know. I think I did all right. I had a lot of fun again. It was really windy, and man, it was crazy. The sun was beating. I saw this morning I've got like a red mark above my forehead where my glasses are here, and then my cheeks were super red. So I definitely got sunburnt and wind burnt, but we had fun, and I finished kind of in the middle of the pack again. I think once I start being able to pull together more consistent, complete stages, I'll start, picking this up a lot faster and doing better. But I do have some footage, and I'll either have placed it in already or we'll take a look at it right now. But anyways, that's how my second PRS match went. Oh, and let's take a look at how dirty this bolt got. So this here will be a good example of how dirty and windy it was out there. You can see all that dust there on the top of my bolt. Sheesh. I mean, this is going to be a whole process to get this cleaned up. But I've got that red dust kind of everywhere on here. So hey, thanks for watching my review of my second PRS match. I kind of got more ideas of what I need to work on. Obviously, I'm still very new at this, so I'm trying to identify problems and then correct them by the next match and work on just getting better every single time I go out. And if you want to follow along, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe down below. Come along with me as I get hopefully better and better at this, and eventually make it out to some of the more, the bigger, more official PRS sanctioned matches. So that's my goal for next year. But I definitely want to get better at the basic skills and get everything down, get more confidence when reading the wind and adjusting for the wind on the fly, instead of only depending on my Kestrel, but also understanding how to get the correct data into the Kestrel and then correct firing solutions from the Kestrel. Because I know that's what cost me several stages. I was, doing everything right, but if I was not getting the right info to click on my clickers right, obviously I was aiming in the wrong place. So we'll work on that over these next couple of weeks, and I intend to be much, much better at that part of this, and hopefully start putting all these skills together and have a match where I do even better at the next one, as long as my fingers don't freeze off. We're getting into the cold months now. So thanks for watching this video. I'd really appreciate it if you would like the video, share it with anybody that you think might want to see somebody getting into PRS at a very newbie stage, and follow along as I hopefully get better and better at this. I'll be sharing as much as I can with you guys, and I really appreciate it if you follow along. So thanks for spending a little time with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.